Welcome back, guys. I'm looking to reach 1,000 subs. Support me by clicking the subscribe button.
Just Sanchez Stadium. My name is Candy Reid. Delighted to be joined by Olga Savchuk.
From red carpet to red clay, the Alexandra Eala story that will leave you speechless. Imagine this. You are 20 years old. You are standing inside one of the most magnificent palaces in Madrid, dressed in a gown that your uncle designed in Manila and shipped across the world in just 48 hours. The room around you contains Novak Djokovic, Simone Biles, Arina Sabalenka, and the woman who literally invented the perfect 10 in gymnastics. Nadia Comaneci is giving a lifetime achievement speech 10 feet away from you, and you are fighting back tears. You post one photograph on Instagram that night, just one quiet image in your traditional Filipino dress, and within 2 days it collects 48,000 likes. Philippine media goes absolutely berserk. Fashion blogs are dissecting every stitch of the Filipiniana. Your uncle Rajo Laurel is being interviewed about the construction timeline. The Tennis Channel social team is asking a question they almost never ask. Do you remember a women's tennis player who gets this kind of love wherever she goes in the world? And then the very next morning, you wake up, lace up your tennis shoes, walk out onto the red clay of the Caja Magica, and you beat a professional tennis player 6-3, 6-3 with 76% of your first serve points won while the Madrid crowd loses its mind. And you address them in Spanish. In Spanish. At 20 years old. That is not a fairy tale. That is not manufactured hype. That is Alexandra Eala in April 2026, and it is only the beginning of what might be the most dramatic chapter of her career so far, because lurking on the other side of that red carpet glow and that triumphant first-round win is a match that could either catapult her story into legend or send the whole narrative crashing back to earth. And the woman she has to face to find out which one it is going to be has already made her disappear off a tennis court in 24 minutes before. Let's back up and set the scene properly because context here is everything. Alexandra Eala is currently ranked number 44 in the world on the WTA Tour. She is Filipino. She is 20 years old. She hits left-handed. She has spent the past 2 years quietly collecting wins over players that nobody expected her to beat, and she has been doing it while carrying the hopes of an entire nation on her shoulders in a way that is genuinely unlike anything else happening in women's tennis right now. When she won her first-round match in Madrid against Anastasia Pavlyuchenkova, 6 major Philippine media outlets published dedicated coverage within 24 hours. ABS-CBN posted the clip of her addressing the crowd in Spanish. GMA News tracked down the story of the dress. The diaspora watching from every corner of the world was not just watching a tennis match. They were watching a cultural event. But here's the thing about cultural events in sport. They eventually have to be settled on the court. And the court has a way of being brutally indifferent to narrative momentum, red carpet appearances, and Instagram likes. The opponent waiting for Eala on April 24th is Elise Mertens. And before you dismiss that name because Mertens sits at number 21 and Eala at 44 and think the gap is manageable, let's talk about who Elise Mertens actually is right now because the ranking number does not even begin to tell the real story. Mertens won the 2026 Australian Open doubles title in January alongside Jing Sai. She is the current world number 1 in doubles. She has 6 Grand Slam doubles titles to her name. Her career high singles ranking is number 12. She arrived in Madrid as the 19th seed with a first-round bye, a 12-7 singles record already in 2026, and a clay court career record of 69 wins and 41 losses. That is a 62.7% win rate on clay. Built not on power, not on pace, but on placement, on reading patterns, on a return game so precise and so relentless that it turns any hesitation in the service box into a broken game within minutes. She is not a player declining toward the end of her career. She is a player operating at a very specific, very dangerous kind of peak. And the history between these two women is not neutral. It is not a blank slate. On October 17, 2023, at the Jasmine Open in Monastir, Tunisia, Mertens met Eala on a tennis court, and what happened was not a match. It was an education. Mertens won 7-5, 6-0. The second set lasted approximately 24 minutes. In the entire match, Eala won just 9 of 32 second serve points. 9 out of 32. Eala was ranked around 200 at the time, and the scoreline reflected every single one of those 200 spots. To understand how complete that defeat was, picture a boxing match where your opponent lands every jab while you are still trying to figure out which hand is your jab hand. That is the history Eala is walking back into on April 24th. That is the ghost she has to exorcise on clay in Madrid.
Welcome back, guys. I'm looking to reach 1,000 subs. Support me by clicking the subscribe button.